Hey everybody, I'm LS11 Soldier, and this is my first ever video on Godforge, and I'm happy to announce that I have been accepted as an official content creator on the Godforge content creator program. So hopefully I should be bringing you a lot more content in the future about Godforge, and also leaks like today's video, which is going to be a few things, mainly about, as you can see on the screen, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Quetzalcoatl, and a couple of other things that have come up in the video. So I'll start playing the video and I'll pause it every time there's a point to discuss. So first of all, basically, as you can see, Quetzalcoatl is a legendary champion. And these are his starting stats: 10%, 10% on 102 speed, so not too bad. Yeah, so let's get into it. So first of all, as you will see, info about Quetzalcoatl: he's an invoker. So invokers restore strength to your team and focus exclusively on empowering your allies in battle. So they're basically buffers, healers, revivers, speed ups, as you'll see shortly. So here we go. First of all, we'll look at leveling up. Now, something I've noticed which I'm really impressed with, I'm really looking forward to. So as you can see here, they are scrolling up to 6-star, and even to let you'll see to level 60. Now, that being said, from what I understand, on the condition that you have the relevant chickens, the relevant, I believe this, I'm assuming this is some sort of XP potion, and the gold. When you get a new champion, you don't have to go through the levels, leveling it up, then promoting it, leveling it up, then promoting it. You literally can just go, boom, autofill, and let's go. Now, what it'll also show you in a minute is that there is obviously a filter system in the settings as well, so you can make sure that you don't use your max level ones, you don't sacrifice your ascended or your awakened champions, and you can even pick some other things. So yeah, that looks good to me. Let's pause that for a second. That looks amazing to me, because not so much as a starting player, when we all first start the game, we'll have to level up the champions one level at a time, then promotion at a time, and then obviously make the chickens, you promote the champion, then level up the next lot, make the next, and so on and so forth, as you do in this type of game. But once you get into mid game and late game, and you're stacking those chickens up, you're stacking that those XP potions up, and you pull a new champion. Now you can get that champion to level 6 with literally a slide and a click, on the condition you've got all the resources that are required to make a level 6 champion. So to me, that's awesome. You know, as an end game player, or hoping to be an end game player once the game's launched, there's nothing worse than having to make this and make that and go for all that to make a champion to level 60, when you can just, like I say now, slide and click, perfect. Now obviously, I will say, guys, this is pre-alpha, so obviously everything is subject to change. I'm not saying this is how it's going to be once the game's launched. That'll be down to the guys at Fateless. But from what I can see here, if that's how they bring it in, to me that looks fantastic. So now let's get into Quetzalcoatl's skills. So obviously we'll just play the video a little bit more. So here's the basic description, and then you click on details. So attack one enemy with 80% of your attack plus 230% of your resistance, and heals all allies for 10% of their max HP. And if the attack is a strong hit, place Petrify on the target for 1 turn. Now, watching later on in the video, I don't see Petrify being landed, so I'm assuming for the test and for the footage that they've given us, they've not had gear on. Maybe not having the gear means no strong hit, or the ads that they've put in just for the test has got no is a bad affinity, so there's no strong hit. I don't know, but obviously it's something that we'll look at later on in the video. But yeah, so that looks good. basically heal all allies by 10% of their max HP every time he uses his first skill, which is what obviously you're basically spamming when you have used your big skill, and then you've got to use this a couple of times before you can use your big skill again. So therefore you're healing quite a lot, which I like. He is also a speed lead in all battles by 21%, so that's fantastic for PvP, PvE, everything basically. Get him in as your leader and get that extra 21% speed. And then as a second skill, as his core skill, he increases the turn meter of all allies by 20%, then places speed up 2 on each target for 2 turns. So if he's giving all allies 20% turn meter, and then speed up 2 as well, so not only has he got this speed up leader bonus in all battles, he's also giving you more turn meter and more speed by using his core skill. Now obviously that's fantastic in speed teams, that's fantastic in teams where you need to get your debuffs down or your CCs down on the enemy before, so you need to be going first, or you need your debuffers or your CCs to be going first, and he will boost them up. And then obviously moving on to his ultimate, his final skill, and basically what this does is, this is your buff, this is your big buff. He places attack up 2, sharpen 2 and accuracy up on all allies for 2 turns, which is fantastic. Gives you, we'll look at that in a minute what it gives you, but obviously attack, sharpens I believe crit damage, and accuracy is obviously accuracy. Will increase the ally with the highest turn meter by 50% when the divinity reaches 100%. Now what I've took from that is basically when you use that skill, the player with the highest turn meter will get a 50% turn meter boost. So obviously then once again that's giving your champions less time to wait in between attacks. Obviously this is an ultimate though, so you do need to get the divinity up to be able to use it, and also you need that your divinity to be 100%. But yeah, other than that it looks quite good. Now obviously we'll have a look at the details and see where the details come in. So place attack up, which is attack up, which increases attack stat by 40%. Attack up 2, that's great. Sharpen will raise crit damage stat. Oh, sorry, we'll just go back to that because we're a bit slow then. Here we go. Sharpen raises crit damage stat and strong hit damage by 10%. So obviously that's quite good for your big DPS when they're doing the big attacks, and we want the strong hits as well. And obviously you want Quetzalcoatl to be strong hitting as well for his ability on his A1, I think it was. Yeah, so like that. And then accuracy up 2, which is standard, is increases accuracy stat by 40%, which is fantastic. When this hero is defeated, revive all allies with 50% HP and increase their init, not sure what that is yet, by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. Now, what I've looked at with that, and this is just my personal opinion, I may be wrong, it may not work, but that's an unkillable team. Because if you have Quetzalcoatl, who every time he dies raises all the other dead allies, your other dead allies, then you have a fast or a speed tuned second reviver. Basically you can then, every time something attacks you with a big attack and kills you, then Quetzalcoatl will bring everyone else back to life. Then that reviver can bring Quetzalcoatl back to life, and there you go. Your whole team's back up, and then, you know, rinse and repeat. Every time you get knocked down by a big attack, Quetzalcoatl brings you up. Now, what you will see is, obviously, it's by wave. Let's just go back to it. Occurs once per wave. Now, later on in the video, there is a section that shows you leveling up his skills, and if you hit the top level, then you'll find it says that it dismisses that effect, that wave effect, so it can be done as many times as you want in a wave. So as I said, that is, to me, that's an unkillable team, guys, all day long, if you can get a second reviver speed tuned well enough. Now it's showing you some of the gear here, and this is the next thing I wanted to talk about, and this is about PvP, and it's showing you this bear set. Now this bear set at 6 pieces grants a 15% chance to block attack damage. So I'm not sure what that is, whether that's attack damage that, you know, just like basic attack damage, or it covers dots, things like that. So you might find that part of the meta for PvP is going to be dots. If everyone wearing bear has a 15% chance to block attack damage from basic attacks, or standard attacks, should I say, but not DOTs, then obviously people are going to bring DOTs in. So with teams that then keep themselves alive, so that those DOTs are burning down the enemy. Maybe some sort of DOT explosion mechanic, I'm not sure. Obviously these are just my personal thoughts, and you know, nothing may come of them, but it does look interesting, and I really like the look of that set for PvP, because obviously it's PvP to me is if it's the best teams with the best gear and everything like that, with no RNG in it, just makes PvP boring. I like to have that little bit of what if that they go to use their massive hit and it doesn't kill my champions, and they've then got to wait until the next go round, where by that time I can use my big hit and beat them. But like I say, it's something to work on in the future and take a look at, and I do like the look of that obviously for champions like Quetzalcoatl, but then again I wouldn't want Quetzalcoatl to survive too much, because obviously we want him to revive the rest of the team. So as you can see, guys, this is the awakening screen, and when we get up to here, like I'll say, it'll show you this, what I was talking about with the waves. There you go, level 4 is an extra 200 initial divinity, and here we go. So this is the bit I was talking about. Revive has no wave restriction, so therefore even if you go down 4 or 5 times in the wave, and then Quetzalcoatl gets you up, and then your reviver gets Quetzalcoatl up, that makes you unkillable. I'm sure that they'll put some sort of character or mechanic in the game that blocks revive, because then if not, Quetzalcoatl with a couple of good revivers and a top damage dealer will just dominate PvP. So they will, I'm sure, put something in to work around that, but that's obviously something we look forward to seeing in the future. But yeah, I do like that, I must admit. Quetzalcoatl, in my opinion, is going to be a champion that I really want to get, because like I said, there's so many applications. He does turn meter boost and speed boost. He brings heals and revival. He's got a good speed lead, and he buffs all units with the attack up and the accuracy up and the sharpen 2, which is your crit damage and your big hit damage. So to me, that is something that I really like the look of, and it's definitely a champion that I will go for if obviously there's some sort of guaranteed event or promotion that means I can get him. But other than that, obviously I'll just keep pulling and hope for the best. So that's going to be it from me today, guys. This obviously will be getting released on Friday after the embargo, and then what I'm also planning to do is that there is a second video on Loki, but what I'm going to do is, rather than making a YouTube video on that, I'm going to stream live at 8 PM on Friday evening UK time on my Twitch channel, which I will link in the description below. And then obviously I can go through all that with you, explain what my thoughts are on that, see what you think. If you don't agree with any of my thoughts or things that I've said in this video, think there may be other applications how to use Quetzalcoatl, then obviously please do put a comment in the section below, and I will do my best to answer as many as I can. Other than that, guys, that's it from me today. Have a good one. Peace out.